This is Millennium, a beautiful 23-meter steel ketch, and this is us, blissfully unaware floating around the picturesque coast of Malaysia.
Little did we know what awaited us.
As a new owner, there was work to be done on the boat, so it was time to put down the sails and steer towards our new home. Our destination? A boatyard in Langkawi.
This island is known for its stunning natural beauty with lush rainforests and plenty of wildlife.
We anticipated a few weeks of hard work and we would have to be ready to splash again.
But Faye had other plans. My dream boat seemed like a distant reality as we toiled tirelessly to bring it to life.
This is the beginning of her restoration journey. It is a good day. We have some crew arriving, and it's funny that the last time I saw this crew, we were putting him in on a banana boat and sending him off in the Solomon Islands. And now 3 years later, that crew returns via banana boat. Every sailor knows the nerve-wracking feeling of bringing their boat into the boatyard for maintenance. Simply lifting your boat from the water is quite risky, but the worst part is not knowing what repairs lie ahead when you get into it. As for us, the list of tasks seems to grow longer with each passing day. Cleaning the hull and sandblasting are going to be the first steps.
Both are essential to the health of the boat. Why? Cleaning the hull removes any marine growth, such as barnacles and algae, which can increase drag and decrease fuel efficiency.
We are trying to take off the swing set, but it's a bit rusted. They are trying very hard actually with the hammer, with everything, so let's see if they can do it. We are removing everything for the sandblast, so it's gonna look like a little bit naked.
So this is ventilation to the engine room. So if we don't tape these up, all of the sand is going to get inside the engine room, and that's going to be a mess.
We need to put covers over all the portholes so the sandblast doesn't damage the frames or the glass. And I'm just making some templates to put and tape up on the portholes.
So we're just trying to secure the boat so that all those cracks are sealed, so we're not sleeping in the sand. After sandblasting, we discovered that one of the major issues we'll need to address on the boat is rust. We're deep into projects now. We've ripped off the roof on the stern because there was a lot of rust, and we've been grinding away. Very tedious, but then we're going to use our rust converter spray, which just converts it from rust to another compound, and then finally we can paint over. We're ripping off the rudder, we're pulling out the shaft, we're doing it all. And yeah, but a lot of hands is making really light work, so it's going quickly, and so far so good. I think we're kind of on schedule. We'll see where it all goes, but so far I'm pretty happy with it, so let's keep working.
So we're removing all the running gear. So to do that we need to delicately take out the rudder without bending the rudder stock, and then we got to remove this CCP prop. So that's going to be interesting because it's also a bit of a complicated mechanism.
We removed all the bolts and nuts, so we are pretty much ready to the forklift. It's coming right now because it's pretty heavy, probably 100-200 kilos.
Removing the rudder and propeller when in a boatyard allows for easier access to inspect and maintain these components, but it's not as easy as it looks, especially when your boat is 67 tons, as we have to give everything within us to take them apart.
Long story, but our generator's been down, and so we finally got it fixed. We actually had to get our starter motor serviced. We've got it back in working order, we hope, so we're about to turn it on for 1 minute. We've got to be quick because it's keel cooled, and so it's going to heat up, so we have to be real quick. We're going to drop our entire anchor and chain because we were replacing the chain, and so it's going to go boom!
Painting and marking the anchor chain on a boat is vital for safe anchoring. It provides depth awareness and helps monitor anchor set and detect drag. Additionally, it reduces the risk of tangles and facilitates maintenance by identifying wear and damage on the chain.
Aitor is going to hook me up to the halyard, and then he's going to hoist me, and everyone then takes sticks, hits me, and waits until the candy falls out. So I need to get up the mast because we have to get a measurement to send out to Precision Sails. And so it would be the measurement from the middle of this pin until where the stay starts.
I was so stressed. Woo! You know what? This is not the harness that we need to climb the mast. This is very stressful.
As you can see, we haven't lost our sense of humor yet. We're keeping spirits high even amidst the challenges. Oh, day 100, it feels like a fighting rust. Oh my goodness, the boat feels like a rust bomb went off. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Today's the day. We've got some new ProFurl furlers that we're going to be putting on our stays. And I've actually never really done like rigging work or stay work. So we have a professional on board, some professional riggers named Christopher. And he is going to help us install these things. This is Millennium's first time ever having furling sails. Before that, it's been like big bags of sails that we had to pull up with Hanks. So it's going to be really nice and really easy to change from sail to sail, bring them in, bring them out, put a reef in. It's going to be exciting.
For us, we are very used to use the furling system with Sylvia. As you know, we have 4 furling systems.
Mark's going to be heading back to South Africa. He has been glorious. He's been so good showing us the ropes, teaching us Millennium. Because of a custom boat like this, there is no manual. Millennium has seen many different chapters in her life, and we are so excited to bring her into her next chapter. But Mark especially made her really beautiful in what she is, because she was a beautiful hull and she was a beautiful boat, but then he really did the inside and spent a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, I'm sure. We've been with Mark now for about 6 weeks, and it's been so good to have his company and to really just learn from a legend. I'm gonna miss him. These are your possessions. You've got a surfboard in one bag.
One bag and my tablets.
There you go.
Thanks, mate. See you in Jeffrey Pay.
For those of you who missed the previous episode, Mark has been the owner of Millennium for the past 10 years, sailing and surfing around the world. Sadly, Mark was diagnosed with cancer many years ago. Since then, it's been a roller coaster journey. But with the support of Gone with the Winds,
a community rallied behind him, put enough pressure on AstraZeneca to get his medication that he needs to keep fighting. It's heart-wrenching when you witness someone having to relinquish their dream due to health reasons. Selling Millennium isn't a choice for Mark. It's a necessity, a difficult reality he's facing. But as Mark embarks on this new chapter, we vow to honor his spirit. We'll carry his legacy forward, just as he would want us to do. After our intense sandblasting session the other day, we successfully stripped away all the paint from the hull. However, as the days passed, we noticed the hull starting to develop a rusty orange hue. We are into it now, guys. What's happening is we have got the hull blasted. And see these streaks that are coming down? That's because we did the top deck with, it's called oxalic acid, but that acid converts rust into not rust. Maybe I'll ask Aitor. You might not know this, but Aitor is he's a chemical engineer, so he actually knows a lot more about this stuff than you might think. So what they're doing today is they are doing acid on this whole side, and it's just magic. If you watch it, it just slowly takes it from this burnt rusty copper color and turns it to, you'll actually notice that the steel looks different. It's blue steel, which is an older kind of steel that is actually kind of hard to get your hands on, and it has tungsten and stuff in it. So we have just cut a giant hole in the boat, and that is for our exhaust was rusting out. And that's our engine exhaust, kind of comes through the side. It's a dry exhaust, so it's above the water line, and it is pretty much rusting out of the flange. That's the connection point between the hull and where the manifold kind of starts up for it. And they're going to be putting a whole new plate in it.
It's my first time doing something like that, and never had to put a giant hole in Sylphia. I think, knock on wood. So that's our exhaust system, which has been changed, fixed. We got brand new shiny over here. Rob asked me when we got on the boat, he's like, well, how are the tanks? And I said, tanks are good, mate. They weren't good. They were rusty and painted over rust. And Millennium was built awesomely. She looks beautiful from the outside, but unfortunately she's been built where you can't access a lot of the underflooring, which you never want a place in a boat where you can't access anything, because that is where, especially on a steel boat, rust likes to develop and destroy from the inside out. And that's what's happened with our port side water tank, and it is filled with little pinholes. It is worse than I would like to say. It's not good, that's for sure. Been a couple pop-up surprises, as that was bound to happen, but yeah, just trying not to get the grumps about it all. Now I've cut up the floor in here into this bathroom, pretty much decommissioning it for the time being. Yeah, we're just in full demolition mode, honestly. You know, we thought we were across the hump of putting the boat back together, and you never like to find these kind of things, and you feel like you're taking a couple steps backwards.
Okay, let's see. How is it going, the water tank? Because of the rust, we have some pinholes. This is my cabin. And here's all the gear. This needs to be fixed, that one. They're like big holes, you know, when you look at that. Here, like they put like, and then they need to finish, they weld everything. There's another one, another one. So they're doing a really good job. Pretty big. We have the same on the other side. Very good.
Navigating through boat maintenance, especially a newly purchased vessel, can be a journey filled with surprise. It's completely understandable to feel discouraged. Use them as a learning experience. Every problem solved is a step closer to understanding and mastering your vessel.
Big day at the yard. Oh God, look. It's on your head. I'm glad I started filming it that much.
Everywhere.
That is Blackwater, and I hate to admit, that's not just Blackwater, that's like month-old Blackwater.
It's probably older than that.
Because our generator was broken, we weren't able to pump out before we went on the hard. As well, probably the biggest overkill of putting on a transducer in that I've ever seen, but you know what? She's strong. So our new Garmin transducer is going to go right down here and get piped in. At the moment, Robbie's piped in water to help with his flushing situation. Anyhow, that is what's happening today. We're still continuing to paint, but it's all coming together real quickly.
What at the beginning felt like an impossible task, we're making strides in our battle against the rust. One step at a time, with everyone pitching in, we're steadily bound on the stubborn adversary.
We're doing the last coat of primer, so I'm just going along the top rail, making sure that everything is covered.
Look how white this is. I can like see my reflection in it almost. It's so white.
I am painting the water tank. This is the fresh water tank. It had a little bit of rust, so we welded a couple of plates to cover the holes, and now we are just putting metal primer, and then we are gonna put a special paint for fresh water tanks. As you see, yeah, this is my place always. Every hole, I turn it in my house. I like it. I like more of the diesel tank, which is massive.
Big long list of stuff to fix, but the truth is like a big steel catch like this requires a team that lives on it full time, that is constantly doing maintenance. You turn your back on it for a minute and it will get out of control. So underneath here we've got the two diesel tanks. We've opened them up, we've drained all of our diesel. Thankfully we only had maybe 300 liters of diesel left. But we think it has a diesel bug, which is kind of like an algae that feeds off of diesel, and so it's a bacteria that feeds off of it, and it just creates havoc and it ruins your system. So we need to get rid of that.
I don't want to go to the diesel tank. I need to dive in a diesel tank. First, power spray everything, and then let's see how it goes. Remove all the sediments. We set up everything like blowers to suck all the air. We're going with the respirators. Yeah, it's gonna be funny. You will see it may make it. Yeah, you can see how big it is. It's like 30,000 liters each tank. We have 2 of those. So this is one, and it goes still the other side.
What are you doing?
I'm painting the water tank.
Oh, good luck.
Thank you.
Aitor, what are they doing?
We are building dive tank holders. We're gonna put them on the sterns. You know, this has been a surf boat before when it was Mark's boat. Now we are turning into a dive boat, so that's why this is gonna be one of the big changes.
So this whole bench is hollow and it's got access on the sides at the moment, but they're small, the holes. We want to have them bigger because we want to store BCDs and dive gear, fins in them, so we are cutting open the top. And then once that top is open, we can stuff everything in it.
I'm metal grinding because there's a lot of like rough edges and we need to smooth it out. So I'm grinding them.
I am making new covers for the benches. All steel before, now we cut holes in each one of them. And now we're covering them again with wood because wood's less heavy to pick up. And then we put all the diving gear will live here, the BCDs, the fins, mask, whatever. And so we have a really easy access from here towards the swim step where we plunge off into the water there.
Doing the top coat on the benches. Yes. And we're gonna have benches soon. Woohoo! Movie nights again. Yep.
Meanwhile downstairs, Amanda and Aitor are wrapping the exhaust tube with fiberglass. Fiberglass is a durable and heat-resistant material, helping to insulate the tube and reduce the heat transfer to the surrounding room. You guys are gloved up. Why so much protection, Aitor?
We know how easy it can be this. It goes like little particles of glasses in the air, and it sticks in your skin, and then it takes days to remove that. Right. It goes to your pores, if I say.
Pores?
Yeah, to your pores, and it's like, oh my god, it's a nightmare.
It's smarter, not harder.
We need to sand the hole quick because it's been a couple weeks actually since they did the primer. And we just need to clean off any salt air that might be on it, as well as we need to key the primer so that the new paint sticks to it. So we've done 2 coats of metal primer. Now we're on to 2 coats of under primer, followed by 2 coats of top coat black, and then finally the copper coat down below. So the whole crew is going at it, making sure that Millennium's gonna be gorgeous. Looking good. She's black. Why do we paint our boats black? Because it looks cool, and maybe it's the pirate in us, but I think that it's just kind of cool to have like a brand, have the boats kind of look semi the same, and so that when you see them on the water, you don't say like, oh, those are 2 really cool boats, that you know that they're part of the same organization, the same look. So that's why that. And I think it's turning out beautiful. I can't wait to see the final product when we finally get the copper coat on. Yeah, we've been here a little bit longer than we anticipated. That's how boatyards do. And yeah, our project list is slowly but surely tacking away, but we're really learning the guts of Millennium, and yeah, we've ran into some issues, some unknown rust below about 1/4 of the downstairs, so eventually I'm gonna have to rip up the floor and just replace the top of a water tank. and a little bit more. You know, that's frustrating. Yeah, they built the boat with where just large areas were not even accessible, no hatches. So yes, we inspected them, but obviously not to that degree. And then when we found the problem, it just really came into visualization as to how bad it was. I don't think that the old owner, I don't think that he was even aware of how bad that problem was. And he didn't have a needle gun and a team, so I don't think he could have tackled it anyway. So it is what it is, just kind of rolling with the punches. Right, we're pretty much redoing everything. There's nothing we're not redoing, including getting new sails, because we're getting a new furling system. This boat has never had furlers. They've been using hanks and pulling up the sails by hand, like so much. So I can't really just get into it all now, but we've got a great team. At this point, we've got a full boat of 12 of us. I'm really happy with everybody's work ethic, and just we've got good team behind us. And yeah, everybody's staying on the up and up, even though we are on the grind. We're working 6 days a week, long hours, sun up to sundown, and but we're almost there. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I really can.
Piece by piece, Millennium has been evolving during this time. Each day brought us closer to our vision. The long hours and setbacks only fueled our determination, and slowly but surely, Millennium began to take shape. Don't miss next week's episode to see the final outcome.
Here we are in Expedition Drench. As you can see, we are not in Sylvia. I'm not back in Sylvia. Hello, here am I back in Expedition Drench. As you know, we are now with Millennium. Yeah, and pretty happy to be back here. Hey, here am I back in Expedition Drench. Hey, how are you doing? Here am I back. All right, here am I.
Oh, come play with me. You're okay. He didn't like that. All right, there's one truth in the world. Do not play with kids when parents are around. I can't get my arm down.
Gritty beardies. That's so true.
Fashion. We have the final. It's gonna be Yoni, Robert, Aitor, and Amanda.
Woo! Does acetone make you feel, Candace?
Hi. Boat yoga, part of the fun. Exploring every nook and cranny and crevice of the new boat, just to make sure I like her.